Amen.
I thought about just coming and talking about women's health and heart health, but I wanted to do a little bit something different this morning to try to keep you all engaged. So I'm going to start by asking you questions, and if you think it's true, then go ahead and raise your hand. So the first question I want to ask you is, how many of you believe that African Americans have the worst health profile in comparison to all other racial ethnic groups here in the United States? How many of you think that's true? A good majority. It is in fact true that we do have the worst health profile. Researchers are currently looking at reasons why. They've been looking at it since the 1980s. African American men are characterized by premature mortality. African American women face several issues, including diabetes, obesity, and arthritis. It's been since the 1980s, but there's still relatively little known about why we have such poor health outcomes in our community. I didn't come to be a Debbie Downer, but I came to lift you all up and know that we do serve a big God.
Yes.
However, it is important that we do our part in taking care of our temples.
Amen.
So another question I have for you is this a true statement? If you think it's true, go ahead and raise your hand. Heart disease is for men what cancer is for women. So heart disease is a bigger threat for men and cancer is a bigger threat for women. How many of you think that's true?
I don't know. Guess that's about the same.
Okay. It's in fact false. Heart disease is a killer that strikes women more than men. It is more deadly than all forms of cancer combined. And while 1 in 31 American women die from breast cancer each year, heart disease claims the lives of 1 in 3. That's roughly 1 death each minute. Basically, heart disease can be several different types of diseases. It includes numerous problems, including a heart attack, including atherosclerosis, which basically is when your blood vessels, which take the blood throughout your body and back to your heart, have plaque buildup in them. If you think about a straw, if it's clear, when you drink through it, the liquid comes through it quite easily. But if that straw has some type of buildup in it, then it's difficult to get that liquid running through it. So that's what atherosclerosis is, and it's a part of heart disease. Another question I have for you, how many of you think heart disease is just a disease for older people? Nobody. Okay, that's good. It affects women and men of all ages. For younger women, there are different medications that they take and behaviors that they take that can increase their risk higher than an older woman, in fact. And while the risks do increase with age, overeating and having a sedentary lifestyle can truly increase your rate or your risk for heart disease. Another myth or fact, heart disease does not affect people who are physically fit. That's false. Yes, it is false. Even if you're a marathon runner, if you are a Zumba instructor, you could still have a significant risk for heart disease. It can run in your family. You could have certain factors that put you at higher risk. So you just have to work harder and manage your cholesterol better with your physician. So if you don't have any symptoms, then you're free and clear of heart disease. How many of you think that's true? False. It's true. 64% of women who die suddenly of coronary artery disease or heart disease had no previous symptoms. So heart disease runs in my family, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's false, yes. Although you have a history of heart disease in your family, you can monitor it. You can address it by maintaining a healthy weight, maintaining a healthy blood sugar and cholesterol. And now, just a few more things. I'm actually going to talk about arthritis, which is a little bit more up my alley. I don't do research in heart disease. I look at pain and disability and among older adults with chronic conditions, specifically arthritis. So how many of you think arthritis is just or mainly an older person's disease? Anyone think that's true? A few people think it's true. The fact is, children, even infants, can be diagnosed with arthritis. 300,000 children are actually affected. It's called juvenile arthritis, usually. It's a natural part of the aging process, but it can, there are types that can be prevented. And how many of you know that there are several different types of arthritis, not just one? And someone yell out one of the types? Rheumatoid and osteo. Yes, and lots of people get a diagnosis of arthritis, but they are not clear on the type. And that does make a big difference concerning your treatment. Osteoarthritis is actually can come from doing repetitive movements and the joints wear out. You basically have cartilage between your joints, and when that starts to wear out, your joints are rubbing up against each other, and you can imagine that's very painful. It can be prevented by maintaining a healthy weight, by monitoring it. Also, if you have diabetes and you control your blood sugar, another good reason to do that is it helps prevent osteoarthritis. High blood sugar can lead to inflammation in the body, which contributes to osteoarthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is actually a chronic autoimmune disease, so basically your body starts to fight against itself. It's another type of RA, and I encourage you all, if you receive a diagnosis from your physician or healthcare provider, to ask them to differentiate if it's rheumatoid, if it's osteoarthritis. There's also many forms, such as lupus, that is actually under the umbrella of arthritis. So I wanted to present these facts to you. Like I said, I didn't want to just put a dark cloud over it. I know we do serve a big God and He has control over our bodies, but just encourage us to take better care of ourselves and to look out for these symptoms because they're very important. And with us having the poorest health outcomes, it's important that we pay attention. They may not know all the reasons, but we can do our part, as I said before. And after service, I'll have some more handouts just on some good tips on how to decrease your salt intake, some more information about arthritis and heart disease. And thank you all for letting me speak this morning, and happy Valentine's Day.
Amen.